back. My upload schedule has been absolutely shocking recently, and I don't even have an excuse for it. So I've finished uni now. If you don't know, I study criminology and sociology. I'm currently going into my last year of my bachelor's degree, and I haven't really had time and stuff for YouTube, but I'm trying. I'm really trying. I want all of that to change though. I was thinking the other day, like, what am I supposed to do, like, after I've gotten my degree? Like, people ask me that all the time, like, what do I want to do? And my answer is always, I don't know, because I haven't quite had that figured out yet. But one thing that I do love is content creation, and I do love making YouTube videos for you guys. So I have had a thought about rebranding this channel more into the true crime stuff, because the whole brand of this channel is morbid content and stuff, but very recently I've been focused more on horror movies for some reason, which is a huge passion of mine, don't get me wrong, but it's not as morbid as I would like to go. I have done some true crime in the past, and the case that I'm about to get into, I have done before as well, but I did that in a short. I did that a few months ago. You can go watch that if you're just looking for a very, very quick fucking recap of this case. But otherwise, I'll be getting right into it in this video. I have recorded this video before and edited it, and it just wasn't good enough, so I'm redoing it. Now, with the whole true crime stuff, one part of it that I'm really interested in is children, like child perpetrators. So for the cases I'm going to choose going forward, probably quite a lot of them are going to involve kids, either as victims of the crime themselves or perpetrators. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, as well, I'm just going to give you a bit of a life update. I got new tattoos the other day. I'll show you guys them. So they're on my arm. So this is what I've got so far. And then I have like this whole bit all up here, around here as well. And then this arm, I've got that there and that there. So I like getting tattoos, so that's, yeah, I don't know why I had to tell you guys that, but I just thought I would show them off. Anyways, on May 31st, 2014, two 12-year-old girls committed an act that shocked the nation while being influenced by a fictional horror character. So, Slenderman is an urban legend which originated as a creepypasta internet meme. The character was created for a paranormal Photoshop contest. He's depicted as a tall, thin figure wearing a black suit with a completely blank face. In other words, he's a creepy cunt. So Slenderman became a complete phenomenon, and he's appeared in video games, fake sighting videos, you've probably seen these before, and an actual horror movie starring Joey King. I don't think that horror movie was very good. I have tried to watch it a few times, but I don't think I've ever made it through the full way of the movie, because I just get bored. Anyways, but, you know, how is this character linked to two 12-year-old girls with a murder plot? Let's find out! So Morgan Geyser and Anissa Wire were two best friends who attended middle school together, and in May of 2014 they planned a sleepover that would change 3 lives forever. Morgan and Anissa spent a lot of their time together reading and talking about their love for creepypasta stories and Slenderman. They believed that Slenderman was real, and that they would have to kill for him. Now, it is of course evident that mental illness came into play here, as their thoughts and fears of this character consumed them. Morgan was described as having an overactive imagination, even from a young child. She loved all things horror. A bit like me. She wasn't very popular with the other kids in school. She was described as being a little bit odd. She didn't fit in, pretty much. Yeah, she didn't care that she was a little bit odd, but obviously, you know, being odd in school, you're going to get picked on a lot. And she was. She was really, really immature for her age as well, and she actually still believed in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, and she claimed that she would see these characters all around her, so she was having these visions. She also admitted that she would have conversations with these characters, and she said that she would talk to people from Harry Potter. She was completely adamant that these characters really existed in her reality. However, with all the bullying at school, she was not alone. So she had two friends. One of them is named Peyton, but they call her Bella. So when I show you some videos later on, like some interview videos and stuff, they'll refer to her as Bella, but her real name's Peyton, and I'm going to call her Peyton. And of course Anissa. So Peyton had known Morgan for most of their lives after they met in kindergarten, or we would call it nursery here in the UK, and they got on really, really well. Morgan then went on to meet Anissa, and they both bonded over both of them being bullied and picked on in school, and they just completely clung to each other. They were both really, really similar, and of course they enjoyed stories and dark fantasy, and that's where Anissa found the story of Slenderman, and it immediately grabbed her attention, and then she shared that with Morgan, who also latched onto the character. The group's third member, Peyton, is not convinced. She says that it's just a stupid internet story, and so she's like completely pushed to the side when they're talking about their obsession with this character. But eventually their shared obsession with the Slenderman character would become deadly. Peyton became really, really concerned over her friend's obsession with Slenderman, and she actually spoke to her mum about it. So Morgan and Anissa believed that they were being stalked by Slenderman, and that he was absolutely everywhere watching their every move. So they decided that the only way to appease him and get him to stop is to do exactly what he wants. So they hatched up a plan. So they decided that they had to become proxies, or otherwise known as servants, to Slenderman, and the only way that they could become proxies is to impress him. And they decided they would do that through murder. Ultimately, Morgan and Anissa decided on Peyton as their victim. So they then decided that they would commit the act at Morgan's birthday sleepover. In interviews, they said that they planned on putting duct tape over Peyton's mouth while she slept, and then they would stab her to death, and then they would flee Slenderman's mansion in Nicollet National Park, where they would officially become proxies of Slenderman. So to prepare for this act, they packed bags for their trip to the mansion, and during the sleepover, the original plan was to kill Peyton and put her under the covers to make it look like she was sleeping, and then they would run away. However, the plan completely changed, and they decided that they would do it on the morning of the 31st of May instead. So the next morning, the girls had breakfast, and then they asked Morgan's mother if they could go to the park. At the park, Morgan and Anissa believed that they were being watched by Slenderman and that they had to do the act immediately. They then decided to play hide and seek, and they got Peyton into the woods, but things quickly took a deadly turn. Anissa then tackled Peyton to the ground, and Morgan jumped on top of her before stabbing her repeatedly, 19 times in total. But still, Peyton was still alive. Morgan and Anissa then ran, leaving Peyton for dead behind in the woods. Peyton then started crawling, completely fighting for her life. She came across a passing cyclist. Again, she was crawling for her life. The passing cyclist stopped to help Peyton. It was just complete sheer luck that she ran into someone. Peyton was rushed to the hospital, and that's when the manhunt for the two girls began. As the girls were walking in the woods, they believed that if they called out for Slenderman, he would appear and they would just be transported to the mansion rather than having to make this long journey. And then when they got to the mansion, they would be in complete safety. They couldn't be caught. Nobody could get to them. So 5 hours after the stabbing took place, the girls were apprehended on the side of a road, and they were taken to the police station. The girls were separated and they were questioned. Both of them opened up in incredible detail. They showed no empathy or remorse or any consequence. There's quite a lot, there's a long video, there's a documentary and stuff about this as well if you want to go check that out. I'll play some of the interview clips. It's crazy. So Anissa was ultimately found guilty with attempted second-degree intentional homicide, but then she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Or actually, it's found not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, not insanity. Morgan as well was found guilty of attempted first-degree intentional homicide, but as well was not found guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. So Morgan was seen by multiple doctors who all came to the same conclusion, that she had early onset schizophrenia. In the interview videos you can see her talking to herself, she's acting very erratic, and you can very clearly see that there's something wrong. So the judge ordered Anissa Wire to 25 years and Morgan Geyser to 40 years in a mental health facility. So yeah, luckily Peyton survived the attack. Her wounds may not heal, but her emotional scars may never. She also did an interview that I'll play. I don't know what she's up to today. I know that she went to college. She's probably graduated now. I don't know. I haven't done any follow-up on that. But yeah, that's the Slenderman stabbing case. Honestly, I think that's so crazy how children can just I mean, I remember watching videos and playing the video game of Slenderman and stuff, and I never thought about doing anything like that. It's crazy. But mental health takes a toll on everybody, and if you know anybody or if yourself are dealing with mental health issues, please seek help. Talk to anybody that's close by. There's plenty of services. I'll link some in the description. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm looking to do more in the future. I'll get a better schedule, I promise I will. I've got more videos that I would like to do. I've been working hard. I've got a list of like different cases and stuff. They get more morbid as it goes on, so there'll be videos that are better than this one. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
Who stabbed her first?
I think Anissa stabbed her first, and then I continued, and then she was like, Morgan, make sure she doesn't escape. She told me that she got her in the lung right here 6 times, and then in the leg a few times. So we told her we were gonna get help, but we really weren't. We were gonna run and let her pass away. So we ran.
How did you get the knife from Anissa?
She sort of just shoved it into my hand, and there it was. And then I didn't know what I did. It sort of just happened. It didn't feel like anything. It was like air.
When you guys were walking, you thought you saw Slender as you were walking?
This was after Morgan stabbed her. And he has tendrils that are very sharp.
Do you see him in your dreams, or where do you see him at?
Oh, I've seen him in my dreams. Truth be told, I wanted to be locked up so that I couldn't hurt her, but that time has passed, and now I'm in here because we were careless. I knew this would happen. I knew we'd get in trouble. I knew I was going to be at my birthday sleepover. You have no idea how difficult it was not to tell anyone.
Do you feel like you're a survivor?
Yeah, I shouldn't be alive. I really shouldn't after what happened.
Do you remember leaving the park to go to the woods?
They just wanted to go on a walk, and I didn't think much of it. It's just a walk. It's in Waukesha. Like, what bad stuff happens in Waukesha, Wisconsin?
Morgan handed me the knife, and then I started to count again. When I was 5 feet away, I said, now, go ballistic, go crazy. Stab. The whole time, Peyton was screaming in agony. I didn't want to do this. I was afraid of what would happen if I didn't.
I made friends with her when I saw that she didn't have any friends at all.
They played up in Morgan's bedroom, ran up and down the stairs, giggling and laughing, and I mean, it was just a normal night.
Anissa told me to lie on the ground and cover myself in sticks and leaves and stuff, but it was really just a trick.
Morgan said, don't be afraid, I'm only a little kitty cat, and jumped on top of Bella and stabbed her repeatedly.
And do you remember when it started?
Kind of. I didn't feel anything because my body was in shock. So they told me to lay down, you'll lose blood slower. We're gonna go get help.
Did she try to get up?
Yeah, she tried to get up. She said that she couldn't see, she couldn't walk, and that she couldn't breathe.
And they told her they were gonna go get her help, but Anissa flat out said, no, we weren't getting her help. We wanted her to die.
I got up and then just walked until I hit a patch of grass where I could lay down.
I said, you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. But I could see that she was covered. Her arms and her legs and her abdomen, they were covered in stab wounds.
Your parents know that you're here talking to me, okay? And I'm glad they're so glad that you're safe.
I did notice she had a blood stain on the front of her shirt, and she was wearing 2 shirts.
Okay, what is your name?
Anissa Wyatt.
Morgan seemed like she was very calm, very relaxed. I mean, she's at a police department and she's covered in blood. And this is like a normal day for her.
What is your name again? Morgan.
You can hear Morgan ask what's happened to Peyton, using her nickname, Bella.
Is she dead?
I don't know. If you want to take her to the hospital.
What? I was just wondering.
Come on here.
I have a daughter that's almost the same age as her. Like, she could be my daughter, but then she started saying things that were really very eerie, hearing them coming out of a 12-year-old's mouth.
So did you guys talk about doing this beforehand?
Anisha told me we had to.
Why?
Because she said that he'd kill our families.
Who's he?
A man. I didn't know him, but Anissa knew him. There's this website called the Creepypasta Wiki. Okay. It's full of like horror stories that are meant to purposely scare you. And there's one of them called Slenderman.
Who's Slenderman?
He's this tall, faceless man who preys on children. At his own will, he can like exploit these tendrils from his back and like strangle his victims. From what the Creepypasta Wiki said, he targets children most.
Anissa explained to me that to prove yourself worthy to Slender, you would have to kill somebody.
Morgan said, we have to kill Bella.
Did you feel bad? I just stabbed one of your best friends.
I thought about it, but then I decided that remorse will get me nowhere. It's easier to live without regrets.